Sì, 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 c'est la couche sans la mouche, un tutu le, surtout, cherchant, un coup, les mots, c'est peut-être moche, ça va son tutu. Hi, hello, and greetings. We're happy to be here, and we're anxious. We've been waiting. We're waiting to bring more information and messages of joy. We identify as Shoshone, but it does not necessarily mean of the Shoshone tribe, which you are familiar with. So this is to clear up any misconception about that this particular language is a Shoshone language that is known to the Shoshone people. But it is connected to it, if that makes any sense. It's just that the language will not be recognizable as that language. It is a language that the channel is familiar with. Shoshone sur nous, la cause par la chanson nous, de cause par la son, on t'était, on tout. Et non, les qu'on chichon par là, c'est bon. De cause sous les, on te chichon non coulé, par la son tonton, les, on te chon, et c'est pas ça. De coup, les sous ma chaussure tout. This is the time of year that will soon be what is called the first harvest. Or another term is lamas. It is the very first month, the first day of the month of August. It is the opposite of the other celebration that happens in February 1st. This marks like the middle of the summertime. And so the first harvest. It is one of the 8 quadrants of the year to take time and celebrate and to connect with what these gifts are given to you when you recognize these quadrants, these 8 different quadrants of the year. The first harvest, in a way, in this country that the channel is speaking from, also it represents a celebration of a time when people are coming together for the first time in many, many months. And I'm sure in other parts of the world too, but in this particular place, there is a celebration of how there has been much suffering in the last year and a half because of the virus. A great division happened in this country, and it continues to grow now too. Because some are choosing not to take the vaccination and some are choosing to take the vaccination, and so there continues to be a big divide. And this divide is also very political. Oh, les gens chancent par les sons, ils remplissent par les sous tout, les bars sous patin. And this will continue for a while, and the resolution of it is not clear. But it's a process that will happen and will reveal itself in the later months of the year. But what we ask is to be patient with each other. Everyone has their reasons why they want the vaccination or why they do not want the vaccination. And it should be, each choice should be respected. When these choices are respected, the political nature begins to melt away, so to speak. It is what needs to happen right now for the great healing to happen in this country that is so divided. And that is all we will say, is to please have patience with each other and withhold judgment. Et le cosimon, je parlais surtout, les pensons, et je sais, we hear the cricket noise of the machine. And so it is such. This is our lives. This is the lives of the channel here too. It's in everyone. There are many things that will continue to interrupt and to spread your attention in so many directions. And that is all right. That too is part of the great reckoning. And so let's talk about the great machines that are happening right now. With this gift that has happened, great information can now be disseminated without one overall central way that the information has been controlled for so many years. But with this requires great discernment and great discipline. And these are two of the lessons that need to be learned. Once again, because it is a part of this new experience for people, there needs to be patience and diligence, and continuing education, particularly for the younger people in your society. They are the ones who have inherited this from a very young age, or now even from birth. These will be the generation of people who will be so influenced by this. They will be leading the way in learning the discernment of what part of the education is and how to assimilate the information and discern. So let your young ones lead the way. And at the same time, help them with the discipline needed. So it creates a balance. The balance is needed for the ego and the greater wisdom and the greater world that is out there. the ego is necessary, but it needs to not dominate. When too much of the attention goes into the ego and then too much into the machines, a type of cycling and confusion and too much mental activity goes into the observance of others' activities. Do you see? This is can be beneficial. But too much out of the balance creates anxiety, and it creates self-consciousness and isolation and depression. This is not, that is, what can I say, the machines are neutral, but the discernment needs to know when to find the balance in the life that is expressed and the life that is observed. These are important lessons for the mental health and the physical health of our society, your society. Keep trusting the process, and and yet be diligent. We want to talk about the discussion about violence. At this time, if and when the consciousness shifts, and it shifts to a vibration, a frequency that is more love frequency, the frequency will continue to vibrate at a higher resonance. One of the quickest ways to continue with this frequency is to recognize where is the violence in your life. To begin to take responsibility. A very basic way is to ask yourself about the eating of other animals. And this is not to say that in the past, that this has been something that is evil or bad. It is not the case. It was part of humanity's evolution. How can I say? When it was the way in which food is made available, the hunting and the eating of the bodies of other animals is an accepted way, and at this point, the animals agreed to this also. There was an exchange, but now, where the consciousness is rising, there is a shift. There needs to be a way of recognizing other animals that we eat as being our fellow brethren and sisters. This will not be easy for many people to stop this habit, but if one looks into your heart and ask a couple of questions, let's say, if we are, let's say this way, part of accepting other races, accepting other people on the planet as being equals, when we begin to recognize the other animals that share our planet as being also our equals, it all goes so much quicker and faster. What we ask is begin to consider the practice of not eating animals. It is an act of violence. It is something that we are evolving out of because it is no longer necessary for our survival. It was once necessary for our survival, but now it is not. It is getting less and less and less. Be kind with yourself. As if this is not your practice, it may feel like a great sacrifice. And if it is your practice, please be kind to others who have not come to this arrival of a decision. It is a process. And put it out there. It may be a beginning. To begin to think about it in this way. Papa, a way to think about it is Papa, think about it this way. Many people have pets. A pet dog, a pet cat, a pet rabbit. When you love these animals, the thought of eating them is abhorrent. They are your friends, you love them. But in other parts of the world, someone eats a dog. That is okay. So Papa, but in this culture we think, oh, that's horrible. How could anyone eat a dog? But you see, it shows you it's a different perspective. When we love an animal, Papa, we truly love an animal, we cannot consider eating them because they are our friends. So begin to imagine the animals as your friends, Papa, and that is a start. Papa, and be kind with each other because this process will take many years. It will not happen overnight, but I guarantee you, we guarantee you, this is essential for humanity to make that next place, that next leap into accepting all of their brothers and sisters, and then nonviolence, the practice of nonviolence. No Israel no Shia sole no le no le no le no zelo one no ne shone ne sole no no ne so ne sole so no no one no ne shole sole so shone ne sole so no so one no ne sho sole lo se lo one lole sole shone sole pule su. This is what we have mostly to bring to you today, but if there are questions, please feel like you can ask them